All right, quick question to start. Hands up if you've ever said or ever even thought something along the lines of, I'm not brave enough. This is too far out of my comfort zone. I can't be bothered to push myself. Okay, now keep your hands up if you've said something like this more than once. Exactly. Most people don't just say these things, they repeat them. And then eventually, we start believing them. We treat personality like it's permanent, like it's something set in stone. But what if personality isn't something that's genetically defined? What if it's something that we're born with? Psychologists measure personality using the big 5 traits: openness, extroversion, conscientiousness, emotional stability, and agreeableness. Now, most people thought that these traits were defined by genetics, set in stone. But new evidence shows something otherwise. Personality changes across your life, and the reason it changes is your behavior, your repeated behavior. Every time you try something new, your brain records evidence. Every time you do something that you once thought wasn't you, your brain records evidence. And evidence becomes personality. Personality becomes identity. Which means personality isn't something that you have. It's something that you practice. Now, I realized this when I was about 9 years old. And for those of you who know me, you probably won't believe this, but I used to have the biggest stage fright. I used to be that kid with only 1 or 2 friends, and I used to be that kid who'd barely speak in class. And now, I don't know if it was just my primary school that did this, but every year we'd have to give an assembly to one of the older years. And one year, someone passed a microphone to me, and I panicked. I ran off stage. And then after that, I didn't just avoid stages. I avoided anything that remotely looked like one. Then came year 8. In drama, I had to give a monologue, and this time I was not allowed to back it out. I remember standing on a chair, which honestly felt just as daunting as a stage, and just decided to give it a go. Not because my personality changed overnight suddenly, but because my pattern did. And now here's the strange thing. Most of us are incredibly loyal to patterns we don't even like. We say things like, I'm a procrastinator, I'm really boring, I can't do this. But then we repeat these behaviors until they feel true. And at some point, these stop becoming behaviors and start becoming branding. There was this psychologist called Brent Roberts who once found something quite unusual and unexpected. And he found that every time you try something new, your personality remarkably changes over time. Not reliably, not dramatically, but almost instantly. Because confidence is a pattern. Courage is a pattern. Even optimism is a pattern. And patterns can change. So instead of asking, what kind of pattern and what kind of personality do I have? Try asking yourself, what kind of pattern am I practicing? Because the version of you that speaks up, the version of you that tries again, doesn't just appear one day. You build them, one choice at a time. So I want to finish with the same question that I asked you at the beginning. Remember when I said, hands up if you don't think that you're brave, or bold, or someone who does something? If that was you, then that sentence is not your current personality. It's just your current pattern. And patterns can change. Because if a 9-year-old who was once really scared and had the biggest stage fright can stand up here and give a TED talk to all of you today, then just imagine what your next pattern could become. Not in 10 years, not someday, but starting from tomorrow. Because the personality that you have isn't something who you are. It's not who you are. It's just a pattern that you practice. And that means that your story is still being written. Thank you.